that's on the at home. We make your life easier with online and mobile banking, bill pay, remote deposit, electronic payments, and more. Free, convenient, secure services, all available to you. Banking should happen on your time, wherever you are and whenever you need it. Go beyond with American State Bank and Trust Company. Stop in or visit asbt.com to enjoy a better digital banking experience. Member FDIC.
Legacy. It begins the moment we're born, growing with every step as we journey through life. It lives in the relationships we build along the way and in those we love. At First International Bank and Trust, our legacy is you. In every stage of life, we walk with you, making sure you get to where you're going and protecting your legacy for generations to come. First International Bank and Trust, helping you live first. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Red Rock Ford is a proud supporter of Williston State College Teton Athletics and our community. At Red Rock, we encourage you to get behind our athletes, schools, and local community. Let's support our friends and neighbors as we work together to make our city a great place to live and raise our families. And when it comes time for your next vehicle purchase, see us at Red Rock Ford, where a portion of every dollar spent goes right back into the community you know and love. That's Red Rock Ford, your hometown Ford store, proudly supporting Teton Athletics.
At American State Bank and Trust Company, we want you to bank your way, whether that's on the go or at home. We make your life easier with online and mobile banking, bill pay, remote deposit, electronic payments, and more. Free, convenient, secure services, all available to you. Banking should happen on your time, wherever you are and whenever you need it. Go beyond with American State Bank and Trust Company. Stop in or visit asbt.com to enjoy a better digital banking experience. Member FDIC.
Legacy. It begins the moment we're born, growing with every step as we journey through life. It lives in the relationships we build along the way and in those we love. At First International Bank and Trust, our legacy is you. In every stage of life, we walk with you, making sure you get to where you're going and protecting your legacy for generations to come. First International Bank and Trust, helping you live first. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Red Rock Ford is a proud supporter of Williston State College Teton Athletics and our community. At Red Rock, we encourage you to get behind our athletes, schools, and local community. Let's support our friends and neighbors as we work together to make our city a great place to live and raise our families. And when it comes time for your next vehicle purchase, see us at Red Rock Ford, where a portion of every dollar spent goes right back into the community you know and love. That's Red Rock Ford, your hometown Ford store, proudly supporting Teton Athletics.
Hey there, sports fans. Mike Ruder coming to you from the Well in Williston. 2.5 minutes before we get going for the women's game. It'll be the Teton women against United Tribe Techno College and the Teton men against Nueta Heditsa Sanish College. Taking a look, starting off at the women's matchup here. Just a couple of minutes left to go. We'll start a look at the Thunderbirds, who come into this one as they're looking to work their way up in their preseason play before we head into conference season, or regular season play before we head into conference. Tribe comes in with a 6-7 overall record on the season, and both teams have yet to play any conference games. They've picked up wins against Miles Community College, Rocky Mountain JV, Minnesota North, St. Cloud Technical, and Minnesota West. And they have losses to Northwest College, Gillette College, the Bismarck All-Stars, Bismarck State, and Dawson Community College. Teton women have yet to play against this Thunderbird squad to be the first of now 3 matchups, including this non-conference game. Looking at the leading scores, Aliona Lawrence comes in with 16.9 points per contest, Ronessa Saze with 16.2, and Natalie Dakota with 13.3. Leading the way shooting for the Thunderbirds for the season so far, it is Saze. She is hitting 2.2 out of her 6 three-pointer shot per game. Making the most field goals also is Saze. Looking at some of the advanced stats here for this Thunderbird squad, and heading over to the ball control stats. Leading the way in rebounds per game is again Saze. She's averaging 9.3. So she is going to be a heavy lifter, a starter at freshman, a 5'10 freshman from Fort Thompson, South Dakota, looking to do some heavy lifting for a shorthanded Thunderbird squad. Looking over at Williston State and the Tetons, Allison Coonsey lead the way in scoring, 15.1. Taylor Murtaugh, 13.8. Jersey Berg, 12.7. And Allie Garcia scoring in double digits at 12.1. Shooting beyond the arc, something that the Tetons are still working on. It is Garcia and Murtaugh both making 1.9 3-pointers per game. Looking at some of the ball control statistics for Williston State, leading the way in rebounding is Allison Coonsey at 8.9 assists per game. Kylie Simpson at 4.6. And steals per game is Murtaugh at 2.6. Getting now the final announcements here before we have the national anthem, starting lineups, and tip-off here from the Well in Williston. Kicking off a preseason doubleheader will now have the national anthem. We now turn our attention to the scorers table as United Tribe Technical College and the Thunderbird gets out in the starting lineups first. They'll go with a 5'6" freshman guard from Warwick, North Dakota, number 1, Madison Kavanaugh. Followed up by number 10, a 5'5" freshman guard from Rapid City, South Dakota, number 10, Tayselin Strand. Out next, a 5'10" sophomore guard from St. John, North Dakota, Natalie Dakota. A 5'10" sophomore forward from Fort Taunton, North Dakota, Aliona Lawrence. And number 33, a 5'10" freshman guard forward from Fort Thompson, South Dakota, Ronessa Saze. The Thunderbirds are coached by Kelsey Peltier and Danielle Peltier. Now it's time for the home team on the scoreboard, your Williston State Tetons. It'll start off a 5'10" sophomore forward from Malta, Montana, number 5, Allison Coonsey. Out next, getting her first start of the season, a 6-foot freshman guard from the Canary Islands, Spain, Lucia Bolito. Out next, a 5'9" freshman guard from Australia, number 13, Taylor Murtaugh. Another Australian import, 5'9" sophomore guard from Martin, Australia, and reigning Mondet Conference Player of the Week, Allie Garcia. And rounding out the starting 5 for Williston State, a 5'11" freshman forward from Bismarck, North Dakota, number 21, Jersey Berg. Your Tetons are coached by Bill Triplett, Corey Fleck, and they are joined by first-year assistant Bridger Rice. It will be Bolito in the center circle for Williston State, ready to take it. She'll be going up against Dakota. Everyone ready here? It is Native American Appreciation Night in the Well in Williston. Game sponsor is First International Bank and Trust. Jump ball is going to be up in the air. It'll be given back to Coonsey, and the Tetons will take over. Murtaugh brings it across the timeline, looking for options up on the perimeter to Berg. She'll swing it over to Coonsey. Looking down low, can't find Bolito. Murtaugh coming back around the perimeter, has Garcia underneath. One-on-one, can't do anything with it on the low block. She's cut off, back out to Berg on the perimeter. Tetons looking to reset up. 11 seconds left on the shot clock. Coonsey taking off on the dribble. She'll drive, get on the low post, spin, puts one up, gets hit on the wrist, no call. It'll be a rebound taken away by the Thunderbirds. Strand now will bring it back up the court for their first offensive possession. Looking down low for Lawrence, can't find her. Lawrence pops out to the perimeter. calling out directions for her teammates. Looking to take off on Berg. No one home. Picks up her dribble. She'll have to force it over to Strand, who works her way up on top. She's going to get it off down low. Lose the dribble. Bolito now with the steal, poked away by Garcia. Tetons running the court. Bolito with a head of steam. Dumps it off to Berg on mid-range area, up on top to Murtaugh. Wide open look, and that'll be in there for Taylor Murtaugh. She's really started to heat up from beyond the arc in the last couple of games. Tetons strike first, 8:53 left to go in the first quarter on the American State Bank scoreboard. Here comes a drive by the Thunderbirds. Step back attempt, and there's going to be a travel called on Lawrence. She stepped back outside of the perimeter, and after the two shuffle steps, she took off on the dribble, turning the ball back over to Williston State. Tetons now holding on to a 3-0 lead, looking to extend. Murtaugh up the court. Tetons will be without Simpson here for this contest. Coonsey on the wing, up on top, looking for Murtaugh on the far wing, can't find her. Bolito on the mid-block area. She'll drive baseline, dumps it off to Coonsey, all alone underneath. Coonsey up and in for two, and the Tetons already rolling 5-0. They have the lead over UTTC. Back of the court comes Strand. Tetons in man-to-man defense. Up on top. Zazu has it. Jump pass. Going to go into the paint. Triple team down low. Three-pointer from the corner. But before the three-pointer could be released, Kavanaugh had her heel on the out-of-bounds line. So a triple team down to the post on Saze. The Tetons are giving her plenty of attention as she's leading with just about 17 points per game. We have a timeout on the court taken by the Thunderbirds. It's going to be stretched out to a full minute timeout. While we have this chance, I'd like to mention our game sponsor here for today's action, and that is First International Bank and Trust.
Legacy. It begins the moment we're born, growing with every step as we journey through life. It lives in the relationships we build along the way and in those we love. At First International Bank and Trust, our legacy is you. In every stage of life, we walk with you, making sure you get to where you're going and protecting your legacy for generations to come. First International Bank and Trust, helping you live first. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Mike Rutter back here for Teton basketball on the Williston State College YouTube page. Tetons have a 5-0 lead. Just about 2 minutes into the first quarter of action. Murtaugh bring the ball up the court. Over to Berg on the far wing. Hands it back to Murtaugh. Looking for a curl play. That one's scattered out by the Thunderbirds. Berg into the corner. Foot fake. She'll take off on the dribble. Get up to the elbow. Back to Murtaugh. Murtaugh drives. Now Coonsey has it. Looks to attack. Out to Garcia. Open look for three for Alley. Off the back of the board. No good. Pulled down by Sazu. And it'll get it off now to Kavanaugh, who pushes it up the court. Thunderbirds looking for their first points of the game. Underneath, it'll go to Lawrence. Turnaround jumper, that's going to be no good, but a bailout foul will give 2 free throws to Tribes, and that'll be their first free. These are the chance to get on the board. Aliana Lawrence picks up the foul. Lucia Bolito picks up the foul. Her first team foul. At the line, Lawrence will be soft off the front of the rim. No good. She'll have one more coming. Here with 7:42 left to go in the first quarter on the American State Bank scoreboard. Lawrence at the line for her second view. That one is going to be up and good. So Lawrence gets the first point of the game for the Thunderbirds. Tetons up back in a hurry. Give it off to, it's going to be over to Murtaugh. Should have been a kick call on the floor off of the Thunderbirds' legs on the swing pass to Coonsey underneath. It'll go back to Tribes. Entry pass underneath to Lawrence, working on Berg. Jump pass to the outside to Strand. Open look for three for Strand. In and out, no good. Pulled down by Murtaugh. Murtaugh pushes it up the court. She's going to drive. Bounce pass underneath to Coonsey. She spins, looking to get a good angle. Steps through, puts it up, and that'll roll in off of the rim. Coonsey now with 4 points so far in the game. The Tetons have a 7-point lead, 7-1. 7 minutes left to go in quarter number 1. Big high ball screen for Tribe. Pull up mid-range jumper by Dakota, and that's going to be good. Natalie Dakota just about a foot inside the arc. Makes it 7-3 once again, as here comes Taylor Murtaugh for Williston State. Pounding the rock up on top of the perimeter. Swings it over to Coonsey. Coonsey looking for Garcia. Gets it into the elbow. She's going to drive. Cut off by a couple of defenders. Now Bolito out on the wing. Coonsey underneath, looking to step through. Takes a bump, gets it off to Garcia. Three-pointer on the way from Garcia. Got it to go. Allie Garcia lighting it up as well from deep. And the Tetons up by 7. Substitute said to come in for the Thunderbirds on the next stop. Strand on the wing. Looking for an entry pass to Lawrence. Can't find it. And the ball off to Sazu. She works her way around. Moving screen by Lawrence. Not called. A little bit back out to Lawrence on top. She looks to drive. Gets to the elbow. Swing pass out to the perimeter to Dakota. Dakota, another mid-range jumper. That one's going to be off the front of the rim. No good. Pulled down by Garcia. Back come the Tetons. Under 6 minutes left to go. Berg behind her back to Coonsey. And Coonsey's going to be fouled on the way up by Lawrence. What a dish there from Berg. Behind the back. Bounce pass to Allison Coonsey. And Coonsey would have finished with a delightful shot, but she was fouled. And substitution for the Thunderbirds. First couple are coming in. So Lawrence will pick up the foul. Checking out of the game for Cavanaugh now is number 21, Selma Ruiz. Foul will go on Lawrence, and she'll be substituted for by Marin as Coonsey knocks down her first of two. Allison Coonsey at the stripe for her second. That one's going to be hard off the back of the iron. No good. Pulled down by Strand. 1 for 2 at the stripe here for the Tetons. Their first trip to the line. Up the court comes Strand. Swings it over onto the far wing. Back up on top of the go. First touch for Ruiz. Back over to Strand. Entry pass underneath to Sazu. Turnaround jumper off the board. No good. Pulled. Team rebound goes to the Tetons, picked up by Coonsey. Here comes Murtaugh, head of steam. Out to Garcia, another open look for three. Got it to go, back-to-back for Garcia. And the reigning Mondac Conference Player of the Week put the Tetons up by 11, 14-3, 5:22 left to go in the first. Strand has the ball up on top, picks up a Morin screen. Looking to drive on Garcia, kicks the ball over onto the perimeter to Ruiz. Gets it down low again. Underneath, drop step, swing pass out of the outside, and there's going to be a foul. See, the call is underneath. They are going to call 3 in the key on the Thunderbirds here, camping out underneath a little bit too long. Is going to be Sazu, so that'll be given back to Williston State. 5 on the dot left to go, 11-point lead. Garcia coming up on top of the perimeter, picking up a Coonsey screen. Garcia on the drive, swing pass to Berg. Lost a handle. Now over to Bolito. Looking to take Marin on the drive. Gets the elbow behind her back. She'll drive. Swing pass is going to be intercepted by Marin. A little bit too fancy there for the freshman. As back come the Thunderbirds. Marin now will slow things down to let her teammates set up in the half-court look. 4.5 left to go in the first. High post it'll go now to Sazu. Spins, gets underneath. She'll throw one up, no good. And be tapped out away from Berg. Back to the Thunderbirds. Strand, swing pass. Dakota, three-pointer on the way. That one is up and good. Natalie Dakota with the second field goal of the quarter. 14-6 on the American State Bank scoreboard. Another Thunderbird set to check in on the next stop. Berg now on the wing, looking for a teammate. It'll be Coonsey in the low post. Tries to step through. She's going to put it up, and just not enough to get on it through contact. Allison Coonsey going back to the stripe for her second trip. It'll be Morin picking up the foul. So Coonsey back to the line for 2. Sazu checking out of the game, coming back in for her is going to be Lawrence. As Coonsey misses her first of 2. She'll have one more coming. 4:08 left to go in the first quarter. Coonsey again taking her dribbles. Second one on the way. That one's up and good. Coonsey now 50%, 2 for 4 from the stripe. Williston State up by 9. Their largest lead has already bet 11 as another subset to come back in for the Thunderbirds. Strand has it. Waiting, holding. They're looking to isolate down low for Lawrence. Swing pass. Marin over on the outside. Perimeter to Morin. Back up on top. Good ball movement by the Thunderbirds. High post, 2 more. Looking for a give and go. Dakota forces one up through traffic. No good. Pulled down by Berg. Looking for numbers. No one there. Behind her back. Keeps it away from Strand as she crosses the timeline. Berg crosses over. Flips it underneath to Coonsey, who lays it up and in. Jersey. Berg being a magician with the ball so far in the game. What a dime as Coonsey now with 8 points in the game. Back up on top, having it is Ruiz. She'll swing it over to Dakota. High post again to Lawrence. Lawrence out on the perimeter. Morin has it. Had a chance for a 3. Give it out to Lawrence. Looks to drive back to Marin. In the corner now. It'll be a 3-pointer for Ruiz. And Selma Ruiz knocks down the second 3-pointer in the quarter for Tribes. Making it now 17-9. Murtaugh hands the ball off to Bolito. Crosses over. She's cut off on the drive. 2-3 defense for the Thunderbirds. Berg looking to drive, penetrate, turn around, fadeaway jumper. Jersey Berg, a la Dirk Nowitzki there with a nice fadeaway. And Berg now has her first bucket of the game. Back up the court comes Ruiz. Long pass over to Strand. Garcia thought about trying to jump the passing lane. Lawrence looking down underneath. Swing pass all the way into the corner for Ruiz. She lets another one fly. High rebound's going to be tapped up into the hands of Ali Garcia. Looks to push, but no one open. Is a good recovery defense by the Thunderbirds. Crosses over, looking to drive. She goes, pulls up mid-range, no good. And that'll be back to the Thunderbirds. A quick shot by Garcia as she kind of forced one up mid-air. As it'll be back now, Bolito looking to harass Dakota up the court. Bolito, such a good defender for Williston State. Over to Strand on the far wing. High screen from Lawrence. Strand for three. Up no good. Tipped around back into the hands of Morin. Gets it back into the corner. Now Dakota again. That's going to be up no good. This time tipped out by the Tetons into the hands of Kunze. She had Bolito streaking down the court. Gets it off to Berg. Berg with the mid-range jumper off the glass and in. Jersey so good from that mid-range with the pull-up. Her second mid-range shot in the quarter, 21-9. Here comes a running drive by Dakota, and she's going to be fouled by Bolito here with 1:49 left to go in the quarter. And the clock is still running here, 21-9. Looks like they may have a clock issue. So now they did stop it at 1:41. That foul will go on Bolito. At the stripe is Natalie Dakota. First one up, and it is going to be good. She'll have one more coming with 1:41 left to go. If she can make this second of two, she can cut it down to a 10-point deficit for the Tribe. Next one on the way. That one is good as well. 2 for 2 from the stripe, and she will come out of the game. Coming back in for her is Madison Kavanaugh. Tetons now with the ball up by 10, closing in on a minute and a half left to go in quarter number one. Murtaugh gets it over to Garcia. Looking for Berg to cut through. Finds Berg in the mid-range area. Couldn't find Kunze underneath. Pull-up jumper for Berg. No good. Offensive rebound for Kunze. Out in the corner for Bolito. Couldn't handle the pass. Looking to take off on the drive. Little runner up. No good. Kunze with an offensive board. Puts it back up and in. Kunze with 10 points in the first quarter. And back comes Strand for the Tribes. Inner pass just about intercepted. It gets in the hands of Kavanaugh. Kicked out in the corner to Lawrence. Lawrence takes one dribble. Strand has it poked away from her by Garcia. And Garcia couldn't quite save it from going out of bounds. It'll go back to the Thunderbirds here with 1:04 left to go. Tetons up by 12, 23-11. 17 on the shot clock. 1:04 left to go on the scoreboard. Three-pointer quickly coming, and that one's going to be high off the backboard. No good. Pulled down by Sazu. 3-on-2 break. Come to the court. Bolito driving the whole way. Looks to dish it off underneath to Kunze, and that's going to be tipped away by the Thunderbirds. Up it'll go to Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh doesn't have numbers. She'll pull it up. Now dish it off to Strand. Under a minute left to go. Up on top to Sazu one more time. High post to Lawrence. Too high for the pass. That'll go back to Williston State. Murtaugh running the court, and she's going to hit the bottom of the rim. No good. Got caught too far underneath on the drive. That'll give it back to the Thunderbirds. A little bit of sloppy play here. Ruiz has it, gets it underneath. A double team coming. Looking to get it back out of the corner. Ruiz open look for three, and she'll knock it down. Ruiz with her second three-pointer of the quarter. 9-point game, 23-14. Shot clock is off with 15 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Murtaugh holding on. Tetons will wait for the last second. Double high screen with Berg and Kunze. Murtaugh over to Garcia. Garcia gets to the elbow, looking to drive. Backwards pass over to Kunze, who's going to lose it out of bounds. Coach Triplett telling his players, hey, we need some better ball movement. They're going to put 0.2 seconds on the clock here. Inbound pass comes, and that's going to be end of quarter number one with the Tetons holding on to a 23-14 break. While we have a moment here before we get into the second quarter, I'd like to mention some of our game sponsors here for Williston State College Teton Athletics, which you can hear all season long right here on the Williston State College YouTube page. Ruac Resources is a locally owned and operated ready-mix concrete, trucking, and sand and gravel producer. From large infrastructure projects to your driveway, they can provide top-quality products with uncommon hospitality. Give them a call, 701-664-3500. In addition, If you want to join a growing dynamic team, they're looking for different positions from CDL drivers to mechanics to heavy equipment operators. Their core focus is serving others and each other. Check them out online or on Facebook, roacresources.com.
Save on STIHL outdoor power equipment this fall at Acme Tools. Right now, save $50 on the MS250 18-inch gas chainsaw, built for tough tasks and reliable performance. Plus, save up to $50 on a new STIHL backpack blower or blower vac and leave the raking up to the neighbors. And the expert service technicians at Acme Tools can get your hard-to-start power equipment tuned up and ready for those fall projects. Find your STIHL this fall at Acme Tools or online at acmetools.com.
Mike back here for Teton basketball. Taking a look at the end of half stats is Lucia Bolito for Williston State with 2 team fouls. No one else has one, and only 1 foul committed by the Thunderbirds in the first. Back comes United Tribes. They have the ball to start. They're going to get it underneath to Sazu on Kunze. Shot up by Sazu, no good, and it's going to be out of bounds. Sazu was tussling with Garcia. That'll stay with Williston State here. 9:48 left to go in the second quarter on the American State Bank scoreboard. Williston State has led by as many of 12, currently sitting at a 9-point game, 23-14. Back come the Tetons. Murtaugh gives it over to Garcia, up to Kunze, now to Berg. Berg looking over to Kunze. Garcia, baseline jumper, up and good. Allie Garcia now with 6 points in the game. She puts the Tetons up by double digits. As Strand for the Thunderbirds has her Brock on top. Garcia there, a pesky defender. Over on the perimeter, Sazu for 3 in the face of Allison Kunze. And Renessa Sazu gets her first bucket of the game. 25-17. Thunderbirds doing a good job sticking with the Tetons so far. Garcia running around a double high screen. Berg up on top. Jersey takes a 3-pointer. That's going to be just off the back of the iron. No good. Pulled down by Strand as she'll push it up the court. Strand looking to run for Williston State. Gets it over to Sazu. She fires another one, and that's going to go down. Back-to-back 3-pointers. A 6-2 run here to start the quarter, and it's a 5-point game. Murtaugh up the court. Looking to get it off to Garcia. Garcia trying to return the favor with a 3. Just off the mark. No good. No one down to rebound. And Strand will pick it up for United Tribes. She'll come up the court. He'll cross over on Garcia. A high angle layup. No good. Pulled down by Berg. And Murtaugh again will come. Tetons playing a little bit too free on the court so far. Have allowed the Thunderbirds to get within 2 possessions. Bolito now looking to drive. She'll cross over. 7-foot pull up. That's going to hit off the back of the iron and drop in there. Bolito with her first bucket of the game now, 27-20. Strand again will work her way up the court. Keeksta set to check in for Williston State. Sazu driving, and she's going to be called for the travel as the Teton defense collapsed on the passing lane. Couple of subs now. Checking out of the game will be Dakota. Checking into the game will be Dakota. Back up the court for Williston State comes Murtaugh. Over to Kunze. Now Berg on the wing. Picks up a Kunze screen. Driving. Keeksta has it, looking for options, over to Murtaugh. She'll take a dribble, gets around the perimeter, and can have it stripped away from her. Tetons a little bit out of sorts. High post, go over to Kunze. Low dribble, tries to find Berg. Pass is going to be tipped. Berg will have to pull back out. 7 on the shot clock. Keeksta has it, looking to drive through the lane, and she's going to be whistled for a shuffle of the feet. Williston State will turn it back over here with 7:35 left to go in the first half. Another sub coming in and out. Lawrence checking out of the game, seeing her first action is DeJarales. A little more post presence for the Thunderbirds. Long pass up on top, intercepted by Murtaugh. 101 down the court, and Murtaugh is going to tried for the finger roll, and she may have gotten hit by Ruiz on the way up. Rebound off the hands of Garcia and out of bounds. Garcia would have had an easy putback. Ruiz will get the ball off to Dakota, who will march it up the court. Over on the wing it'll go. Ruiz down low for Sazu. Looking to work on Kunze. Double teamed in the low post. Drop step, and it'll be forced up. No good. Pulled down finally into the hands of Murtaugh. Back comes Williston State. Tetons looking to push their way back up the court here. Just under 7 minutes left to go in the first half. Murtaugh on the wing, step back, up on top to Kunze. They'll hand the ball off to Garcia, looks at drive, gets to the charity stripe. To Keekstad, looking in the post for Kunze. Berg now weaving her way, mid-range jumper in the paint. Jersey Berg with a soft touch in the paint for two, 29-20. The lead was as close to 5 points here starting off in this second quarter. And now to spread back out to 9 points. Gets it down and out in the low post to Sazu again. Long skip pass to Ruiz in the corner. Good extra pass. Dakota now on the drive. Swing it over to Duran. Sazu for another three. Sazu with her third three-pointer here in this second quarter. That's all 9 of her points so far. Gets it up to Kunze, back to Garcia. Kunze has a wide open lane to the bucket. It's going to be over to Keekstad on top of the perimeter. She'll hand it back off to Murtaugh. Work her way around. She's cut off by a defender. Back up to Kunze. Now to Berg. Berg going to drive. Elbow jumper for Jersey, and that one is nothing but net. Jersey Berg coming alive here in the second quarter. She has 8 points. The Tetons look to see if they can't get that mid-range going. Coach Triplett still with a scowl on his face underneath the Sazu, working on Kunze. And it's going to be a forced-up shot by Sazu. That one's going to be up and good. 11 points in the quarter by Sazu. 31-25, still a 7-point lead, or a 6-point lead for Williston State. Berg now on the near wing. Crosses over, looking to drive. Backed away by Sazu. Swing pass to Kunze in the paint. Back to Berg on the near wing. Berg back to Kunze. Finds Garcia. Sets a screen for Garcia. Now Allie on the drive. She's going to lose the ball on the way up, but it'll stay with Williston State. A touch on the way out. As we'll have a sub for the Tetons coming in. As Garcia will check out for the first time. Checking in for her is Tia Conradson. And back in for Williston State. Checking in for Selma Ruiz will be Tayslin Strand. Inbound pass goes to Berg into the near corner. Handed off to Murtaugh. Works her way around. Gets a couple of nice screens. Bounce pass underneath to Keekstad. Gets it in the low post. Puts it up. No good. And that's going to be a shot clock violation on Williston State. So the Tetons looking to have some offensive fluidity struggles here in this first half. They hold on to a 31-25 lead with 5 minutes left to go in the second. Strand working her way up. Long pass over to Deserales. Swing pass in the corner now to Dakota. Dakota for three, off the mark, no good. Murtaugh with the board. Tetons running the court. Long pass is going to be touched out of bounds by Dakota. The Tetons did have Conradson streaking towards the bucket, and with that timeout, we'll have a media timeout. Williston State up 31-25. 4:43 left to go in the first half. We'll take a time to have another mention of one of our sponsors. For more than 70 years, Expanse Electrical has delivered market-leading electrical power and automation expertise built upon a legacy of technology, quality, and craftsmanship. They're confident that they have the best team in the industry and welcome the opportunity to serve you. They're proud to be a member of the Williston community as they continually work to build a better future for their company, their craftsmen, and their customers. They pride themselves on having one of the most proficient teams of directly employed licensed electricians and automation engineers in the industry. Interested in powering up your career? Visit expanseelectrical.com/careers to learn about their openings in the North Dakota region. Mike Ritter back here for Teton basketball on the Williston State YouTube page. Tetons have the ball up by 7, 31-45. 4:40 left to go in the first half. Kunze with the turnaround jumper, no good. She's going to have it knocked out of her hands. It'll go back to the Thunderbirds with Strand picking it up. She'll march it back down the court. Strand looking to drive. She's going to be blocked by Murtaugh, who saves it from going out of bounds. Looks to try to throw it off. A Thunderbird defender can't get it over the hands of Sazu, who heaves up a three. That one off the mark, no good. Another offensive rebound pulled down by Duran. Duran will kick it back out. Up on top now to Dakota. Mid-range jumper for Dakota, and that one's up and good. Lead is back down now to 4 points, 31-27. as the Tetons offensive unit has still been struggling. Berg gets it along the perimeter, looking to drive. Lose the ball, looking underneath for Kunze. Still struggling to keep it away, and there's going to be a double dribble called on Allison Kunze. As it'll be another Teton turnover here with 3:54 left to go in the half on the American State Bank scoreboard. Back into the game for the Thunderbirds is Aliona Lawrence. The Thunderbirds a chance to make it a one-possession game. High post to Sazu. Lawrence again with another mid-range jumper. Dakota with a mid-range jumper. That one's off the mark, no good. Tetons running the court. Murtaugh has it on top of the perimeter. She'll hand it off to Berg. Berg now to Keeksta. Over to Conradson. Conradson, foot inside the line, pulls up for the jumper, no good. It'll be given back to Kunze. Kunze over on the baseline to Berg. A nice pass and a dump off. Berg pounding, turnaround jumper. That one's going to be up and no good. Lots of bumping underneath, and there's only been 3 fouls called in the entirety of the first half. As now Dakota will have it on the wing, slowing things down to set up. Here comes a high screen from Lawrence. Pick and roll action coming, dump off into the corner. To be over to Durand, back up to Sazu. Sazu looking for a high Lawrence screen. Sazu with a straightaway 3, high off the back of the board, no good. Pulled down by Murtaugh. The Tetons look to extend back out, under 3 minutes left to go in the half. And that's going to be a pass underneath to Keeksta, and it'll be Murtaugh taking a big bump on that one. His officiating crew swallowing their whistles here in the first half. We'll have a substitution coming in for United Tribes. Out of the game is going Durand. Coming back in will be Madison Cavanaugh. Here at the 2:48 mark, Tetons in a bit of a scoring drought here in this second quarter. They've been outscored 12-8. Inbound pass goes to Kunze. Murtaugh corner 3 on the way, off no good. It'll be into the hands of Sazu. Back comes Tribes up the court. Sazu working her way up the court for United Tribes. Dishes it off to Strand, crosses the timeline. 2:35 on the American State Bank scoreboard. 2 subs set to come back in. Low post, turnaround jumper for Sazu, up no good. She tried to draw some contact from Kunze, but there's good post defense. Murtaugh now back up the court, see if the Tetons can break their dry streak. Murtaugh driving, no one open. Up on top to Keeksta, now to Berg. Berg looking to cross over, takes a bump on the drive, pulls up for a mid-range jumper. That one's going to be up no good. Keeksta gets it underneath, and she's going to be fouled by Dakota. So Dakota will pick up the first foul in the quarter with only 2:08 left to go. And 2 Tetons set to come in. So Bolito will come in for Conradson. And at the line will be Keeksta for 2. First one is going to be up and good. One more coming for Williston State and Keeksta. Here with 2:08 left to go in the first. Second one is going to be no good. 1 for 2 at the stripe. Push it up now, 32-27. Back up the court comes the United Tribes. Bolito with some good on-ball defense. Garcia waiting to check in. An up and under attempt, no good. Bolito with the rebound. That shot was by Dakota as Murtaugh will push it up to Bolito. She'll look to attack, gets into the elbow, dumps it off underneath to Keeksta, goes for a reverse layup. That one's going to be way off as the rebound will go to Sazu. She'll flip it up now to Dakota on the wing. Long pass over to Strand with a 3-pointer. That's going to be up and good. 4th 3-pointer of the quarter, as that'll now make it just a 2-point game, 32-30. Up the court, Murtaugh now to Berg. Looking for Kunze, who's on the baseline. Looking to drive. She'll get it back off to Bolito. Keeksta now up on top of the perimeter. Over to Murtaugh. Weave her way around. Thought about a step back. Nothing there. Now be Bolito caught up with the ball. Has to flip it up, and she'll be whistled for the travel. Another Teton turnover will give it back. Tribes the chance to tie it or take the lead here with 1:09 left to go in the first half. 32-30 on the American State Bank scoreboard. Garcia back into the game for Williston State. Strand marching up the court. She'll cross the timeline. 1:03 left to go in the second. Garcia looking to lock in on defense. Over to Dakota, looking down low again. It'll go to Sazu. Sazu, pump fake, goes for a running floater. Up, no good. Garcia pulls down the board, look to run. Doesn't have any options. Over to go to Murtaugh. Back to Garcia. Had Coonsey underneath, couldn't find her. Now Garcia, Bird calling out a screen. Garcia to Coonsey again. Coonsey, the drop step, she's going to be blocked underneath by Lawrence, and they're going to say it's off of Coonsey and out of bounds. The Tetons again, who now have been outscored in this second quarter, 15-9 after going on a 23-14 run in the first. A long baseball pass, wide open is Lawrence underneath, and she has a layup to tie the game up at 32 apiece. So the Tribes have climbed back from a 12-point deficit here in the first half. Tetons have the ball with the shot clock off. Bolito looking to drive. She'll hand it off to Berg. Berg gets the elbow. Over to Coonsey now. Tetons working their way around the perimeter. 15 left in the quarter. Back to Bolito. Holding on to the ball. She'll peel it back out. 10 left in the quarter. Bolito sets up for a double high screen. She goes straight away three-pointer. Got it to go. Lucia Bolito knocks down the triple to put the Tetons up by 3. And the Thunderbirds run out of time. But this half has been in favor of the Thunderbirds despite being down by 3, 35-32. They have pulled out the stops in the second, going on an 18-12 run. As both teams now will head to halftime, Coach Triplett will likely have a lot of advice for his team out on the court in the locker room and how they need to shape up and make some adjustments in this second half coming up in about 15 minutes. We're going to step away. We're going to go get the official stats. And then when we come back, we'll give you a complete first half breakdown here from Williston. You're listening to Teton Basketball exclusively on the Williston State College YouTube channel. Mike, we're back here for Teton basketball exclusively on the Williston State College YouTube page. Time to look at some of the halftime stats in the game that sees the Tetons up by 3 points, 35-32 over United Tribe Technical College and the Thunderbirds. That 3-point lead was thanks to a late three-pointer by Lucia Bolito, who put the Tetons back up on top. The Thunderbirds had outscored the Tetons 18-12 in that second quarter, 18-9 before the Bolito three-pointer. The Tetons went up 23-14 after the first. Taking a look at scoring for the Thunderbird. 11 points by Renessa Sazu. 10 points of scoring from Natalie Dakota. 6 in from Selma Ruiz. And 3 points in from Aliona Lawrence. Looking at rebounding, 15 total rebounds for the Thunderbirds, led by Strand, who has 7, 6 defensive, 1 offensive. 12 defensive rebounds for United Tribes, 3 offensive, 8 assists, 4 steals, 1 block, 7 turnovers, and only 3 personal fouls in the first half. No one with more than 1, Dakota, Lawrence, and Marin, each with a personal foul. Shooting in the first half, 36% overall, 10 for 29 from the field, 7 for 16 from beyond the arc for 43%, and 3 for 4 from the line. In the first quarter, Tribe shot 30% from the field, 41% in the second quarter. A monstrous 4 for 7 from deep, including 3 of them from Renessa Sazu. She got all 11 of her points in this second quarter. Looking over at Williston State, they're led in scoring by Allison Coonsey, who has 10 points in the game, 8 from Allie Garcia as well as Jersey Berg, 5 points in from Lucia Bolito, and 3 points from Taylor Murtaugh. Also 1 point coming in from Dizanifra Riksta. The Tetons in the first quarter shot 9 of 15 for 60%, 3 or 4 from deep, and 2 of 4 from the line. In the second quarter, they significantly cooled off, 5 of 16 for 31%, 1 of 4 from deep, and just 1 of 2 from the line. Overall, in the first half, Williston State shot 14 of 31 for 45% from the field, 4 of 8 from beyond the arc, and 3 of 6 from the charity stripe. 20 total rebounds for the Tetons, a tie at 4 apiece by Murtaugh and Coonsey. The team has 15 defensive rebounds, 5 offensive rebounds, 9 assists, 3 steals, no blocks, 10 turnovers, or -3 in the turnover differential, and just 2 personal fouls, both of them coming from Luisa Bolito in that first quarter. Some of the advanced stats now with just a minute left to go before we get underway with the second half. Points in the paint, Tetons 8, Tribe 4. Points off of turnovers, Williston State 5, United Tribe 3. Second chance points, Thunderbirds have a 6-3 lead. Bench points, Tribes 8, Tetons 1. There was 1 tie and no lead changes. The Tetons have not given up the lead despite that feverish second quarter from the Thunderbirds. As we see out of the court, the last player getting up some shots is going to be Sazu for the Thunderbirds as she knocked down her first 3 three-pointers taken in that second quarter. She's 3 for 5 from beyond the arc. So Coach Triplett now at the bench talking to his 5 starters who will be back out there for this one. And we'll have to see what the Thunderbirds have in store as well. The Tetons looking to continue their winning streak, but that is in jeopardy if they play more like they did in the second quarter. The Thunderbird going in with a ton of momentum here in this third. I have to like the way they've been playing. Looking at the schedule for Williston State, have what they have coming up and how they've done recently. As the first buzzer horn before all the players get back out onto the court. A 7-game winning streak for Williston State has them at 9-2 on the season, as they head back out now looking to extend that out to an 8-point lead. The Thunderbirds will have the ball here to start half number 2. Sazu's going to get it into Strand, and we are set to go. Thunderbirds start with the balls. Strand swings it off over on the wing. Back out is going to go Dakota with a quick 3 to start. She'll tie it up. Hot shooting continues. 8th three-pointer in the game for Williston State, and Coach Triplett all over Bolito for the perimeter defense on that one. Up on top to Berg. Now swing it over to Murtaugh. Baseline drive. So you can go. Swings it off to Kuzi. Great pass from Kuzi's now up to 12 points. Williston State back up by 1. They did make a point adjustment there as now that's a 2-point game, so there was a stat correction there, it looked like. 37-35. Back come the Thunderbirds. Looking to drive. Up on top, it'll go to Sazu. Holding the ball. No one to get it off to. She's going to have to put it on the deck. Backing down on Kunze now. Up on top to Strand. Strand, she'll find Lawrence. Gets it underneath to Sazu. Sazu's going to force one up. In and out, no good. And Kunze will get it. Sazu all over her. Backwards pass over to Murtaugh. Really letting them play here so far early in this third. Back come the Tetons looking to extend their lead out one more time. Get it over to Bolito. Bolito up on top. Go to Murtaugh. She'll reset up. Hands it off to Berg. Berg with a little foot fake. Looking to drive on Sazu. Dumps it off again to Kuzi. Baseline jumper, and that'll rattle home. 2 straight buckets for Allison Kunze. And the Tetons have pushed their lead back up to 4 points, 39-35. Strand again with the ball, calling for Sazu to come pick it up on the point. In the low post to Lawrence. Lawrence double team out to Strand. Good recovery defense. 3-pointer on the way. No good. That was off of Kavanaugh's. Lawrence screaming up the court. He's going to be a long pass underneath to Kunze. Kunze had a defender all over in the low post. She'll have to dribble out. Now give it to Berg. Berg with a baseline jumper. Up and good for Jersey. Berg now has a 10 spot so far in the game. 41-35, 6-point lead. Pass going to be intercepted by Garcia. Great recovery. Kunze gets it. Looking for Bolito underneath, and that's going to be tipped out of bounds by Strand. And a good recovery by Taslyn Strand to knock that one out of bounds. Tetons will retain possession. 7:44 in the third quarter on the American State Bank scoreboard. Williston State looking to inbound. No one open. Out into the corner to Garcia. Picks up a Kunze screen. Little pick and roll action. Garcia's going to be cut off by Dakota. Now it'll be Berg who's going to be blocked by Sazu, who run the court herself for the Thunderbirds. Thunderbirds jump pass over to Strand on the wing. Close out by Bolito. Now up on top to Sazu. 3-pointer on the way, and that one's going to be up and good. And there'll be a timeout call by the Thunderbirds. That 3-pointer cuts the lead in half. Now 41-38. And we have a timeout on the court called by United Tribes. It'll be a short one. We'll take a short one ourselves here from the Well in Williston.
Legacy. It begins the moment we're born, growing with every step as we journey through life. It lives in the relationships we build along the way and in those we love. At First International Bank and Trust, our legacy is you. In every stage of life, we walk with you, making sure you get to where you're going and protecting your legacy for generations to come. First International Bank and Trust, helping you live first. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Mike back here for Teton basketball on 660 Keys News Radio. Coming after the 3-pointer by United Tribes. They took the timeout, and now it'll be the Tetons taking back over. It's been back and forth so far, starting off this third quarter. As the Tetons playing even with the Tribes so far in the third. Each team playing with 5 points so far. A pass from Murtaugh over intended for Bolito is going to be poked out of bounds by Kavanaugh. And Williston State will retain possession. 24 on the shot clock. Inbound play gets up on top to Murtaugh. Murtaugh bounce pass underneath to Bolito, and she's going to be fouled by Lawrence. So Lawrence picks up her first foul. Oh, it's her second personal foul, First team foul Inbound play coming now for the Tetons. Berg gets it on the baseline of the inbound pass. Backing down a defender. She'll take a shot as she gets it off to Bolito, who fires a three. Bolito with a triple from straight away. Second three-pointer of the game by Lucia. And that'll now make it a 6-point game one more time. 44-38. Tetons now looking to get some defensive stops. As it'll be Strand has it. She's going to be covered up. Forces it over to Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh up on top. Now to Dakota. High post. Stepping out is going to be Lawrence. Looking underneath. Sazu puts it up and gets it a drop over the top of Berg. Sazu now with 16 points, matching her season high. Murtaugh across the timeline. 44-40. Some confusion offensively for the Tetons. They look to get set. Backdoor pass as Bolito got tangled up with Kavanaugh looking for a backdoor cut, and the Tetons give it away again. It'll be Tribes again looking to cut it to just a one-possession game one more time. Strand working her way back up the court. She'll have her on top of the perimeter. Gets it over on the wing. Dakota. Pull up, elbow. No, shot is going to be offensive rebound down to Sazu, and she's going to be fouled by Bolito, who picks up her third personal first-team foul. And that'll send Sazu to the line. So first team foul now for each team in this third quarter. Now it'll be foul trouble for Bolito and the Tetons as Sazu knocks down her first of two. She's scored 6 straight for the Thunderbirds, a chance to make it 7. And she does, going 2 for 2 from the stripe. Now back down to a 2-point game, 44-42. Murtaugh working her way back up the court for the Tetons. Kunze steps out along the perimeter, finds Berg up on top, looking for a cutting Garcia, not open. Over to Murtaugh. Thunderbirds really doing a good job packing the paint. Bolito now gets it from Garcia up to Kunze. 10 on the shot clock. Garcia from the wing, three-pointer on the way. That's going to be off the side of the rim, no good. Saved from going out of bounds by Murtaugh. Kunze gets it underneath, and she's going to be whistled for an offensive foul. So Kunze now with her first personal. And there's going to be a down Thunderbird player on the floor. It is Dakota, who has 12 points in the game. He may have just gotten a wind knocked out of her, hitting the ground after taking the bump from Kunze. And she's being helped up by the training staff and looks to be okay, taking a little bit of a stretch on the leg, so hopefully she's all right and will be able to continue. If not, hopefully that whatever her malady here is, and it looks like she will be okay as she's already having a laugh with the training staff here for Williston State. The medical timeout on the court here in Williston. And while we have a quick second, I'd like to mention McKenna Forsberg Law is a proud sponsor of Teton Athletics. And with the injury timeout, we will have a quick substitution with Dakota checking out of the game. And coming in for her, number 23, Eliana Duran. Excuse me, not Duran. It was going to be number 21, Selma Ruiz. Long pass going to go up. Press break for Williston State. They're going to get it over to Ruiz. Long pass goes into the corner now to Kavanaugh, who forces one up through traffic. No good. Offensive rebound put up. No good. Tipped around. Finally, Kunze comes out away with it as the Tetons just about had the score timed back up at 44. But Sazu could not get the point-blank shot. Kunze now up on top. Gives it over to Berg on the perimeter. Swing pass back up to Murtaugh. Garcia for three is going to bounce around a couple times. Rebound pulled down by Ruiz and the Thunderbirds. Strand now working it back up the court. Ruiz into the wing to Sazu. She's going to fire again. Sazu knocks down another triple. That's her 5th three-pointer of the game, and that gives the Thunderbirds a 1-point lead here with under 5 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Garcia flips it over to Bolito. Bolito picks up a Kunze screen, drive, dumps it off to Kunze, baseline jumper, up and in for Allison. She has 16 in the game. Ronessa Sazu with 21 points and counting here against the Tetons. Long pass over to Ruiz, down to the corner to Lawrence. Lawrence looking for options, Sazu working, and there's going to be a hand check called on Kunze as she's battling in the post up with Sazu. That'll be Kunze picking up her second personal. Substitute coming in for United Tribes here with 4:26 left to go. We have a media timeout here from Williston. We're going to step aside for a 1-minute break. When we come back, more Teton basketball here on the Williston State College YouTube channel.
You work hard. You deserve a space that's truly yours. Whether it's upgrading your current home or stepping into something brand new, American State Bank and Trust Company is here to make your dreams a reality.
This is Megan Wenker, Assistant Vice President and Real Estate Loan Manager at American State Bank and Trust Company. Our lending team is committed to offering tailored loan options and expert guidance because you deserve nothing but the best. Visit with Heather Ryder or me and go beyond towards the home of your dreams.
Stop in or visit asbt.com today. Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Mike, we're back here for Teton basketball and exclusively on the Williston State College YouTube channel. And the Tetons are in a battle here with United Tribes and the Thunderbirds. It is a 46-45 Teton lead as they're looking to extend it back out. Williston State has led by as many as 12. They trailed just a second ago by 1 for it was their first deficit of the game. The Thunderbird ball from underneath their own basket. Inbound pass goes to Sazu. Swings it up on top to Cavanaugh. Sazu again. Drop step. Puts it up. No good. Offensive rebound. That is going to be put up and in. So another 1-point lead by the Thunderbirds as they mark their way back up the court. Coonsey up on top. Now over to Berg. Berg gets it down underneath to Garcia. She'll put it on the deck. Bounce pass to Berg. Fumbles it underneath to Coonsey. Now steps through. Puts it up and in. 2 points for Coonsey. As now Coonsey with 18. The Tetons are back up by 1. 48-47. Strand. Bounce pass up on top to Desirales. Underneath it'll go. Double team on Sazu. Back it'll go up on top to Cavanaugh. Swing pass. Be around again to Ruiz. Desirales from the high post. Back to Cavanaugh. Back out to Ruiz. Desirales again working on Berg. Looking to drop it. Forces one up. No good. Tipped around. It's going to go out of bounds. Back to Williston State. So the Tetons get a stop, and they're looking to get a bunch more. Here's the third quarter is in the back half. Murtaugh working her way up the court to the top of the perimeter. Now over to Bolito. Bolito gets it underneath to Coonsey. He's going to have the pass tipped and be picked up by Strand. Strand's going to be called for the travel. And that'll kick it back off to the Tetons here with 3:11 left to go. Inbound play coming for Williston State. Bounce pass will get into Berg on the perimeter. Berg to Murtaugh for 3. No good. And it's going to be pulled down by the Thunderbirds as they look to reclaim the lead. Back up the court now. Thunderbirds under 3 minutes left to go in this third quarter. Over on the wing. Back down underneath. Here comes a drive to Cotto. She's going to be cut off. To Cotto to Lawrence. Back underneath. A go, drop step, turn around, force it up, no good. And back comes now Bolito, taking on 3 Thunderbirds. She'll peel out into the corner. Berg wide open 3 from the wing. That's good. Jersey Berg with a huge 3-pointer for the Tetons. A big one. Berg now up to 13 points in the game. Marching her way back up will be Dakota. Sazu getting a brief break on the bench. Strand set to check back into the game. Into the corner, 3-pointer from Lawrence. Off the mark, no good. Coonsey with the board. The Tetons force another stomp. Lead is 3. Williston State looking to see if they can extend. Murtaugh. Quick to get past the defenders, and she's going to go with a little runner. Taylor Murtaugh now puts it up and in. Williston State back up by 5 points. Now they're going to call that 3-pointer for Berg with her foot on the line. So Berg now called along 2 as a 5-point lead for the Tetons, 52-47. Here comes a screen for Dakota. She's going to drive, gets into the paint, and she'll be fouled on her way up underneath. So third personal on Coonsey. as Coonsey will come out of the game for the first time. She has 18 points. Patience Gray will check in to see her first action on the court. At the stripe, number 424, Natalie Dakota for the Thunderbirds. Her first of two is going to be up and good. Her second one on the line for two. For one. That one is up and good. 2 for 2 from the stripe. Back up the court comes Murtaugh. 52-49. Murtaugh over to Berg. Berg hands it off to Garcia. Up on top to Gray. Looking. Finds Murtaugh again on the wing. Three-pointer from Murtaugh from the wing. Up and good. Taylor Murtaugh. Much needed for the Tetons as they pull up by 6. 55-49. 1:20 left to go in the third. Walking her way back up. Dakota, long pass over to Strand on the wing. Strand heaves one in and out, no good. Rebound coming down. Putback is going to be up and in for Lawrence. Lawrence for two to make it a 4-point game. Back and forth, both teams go. Garcia now with a three-pointer of her own from deep, and that's good. Back-to-back three-pointers for the Tetons. Out to a 7-point lead for Williston State. Under a minute left to go in the third quarter. Tetons looking to see if they can't go on a little bit of a run here to end the third. Long pass over to Lawrence on the wing. Entry pass to Sazu. Three-pointer not taken. Back it'll go to Sazu. Bolito with good defense. Kicked out to Lawrence up on top. Bobble the ball. Give a chance for Bird. And it'll be a foul called on Bolito. And you're going to say she gave just a little bit of a body bump. That's foul number 4 on Bolito. Here with 36 seconds left to go. Coonsey coming in. So Allison Coonsey will check in for Bolito. And that'll send Sazu to the line. 36 seconds left to go on the shot. 36 seconds left to go on the game clock. The Tetons will try to whittle it down as far as they can. Sazu will make her first of two. And she'll be at the line for one more. Sazu now. With 21 points, make it 22. She knocks down 2 of 2 from the line. That'll be Murtaugh now getting the ball into Berg, who will hand it back off. Tetons up by 5. 35 seconds left. 28 on the shot clock. Murtaugh driving, dumps it off underneath to Gray. Gray is they're gonna say she's gonna be blocked. Coach Triplett incensed, and Strand now is gonna be hounded by a couple of defenders. Back it'll go to Sazu, pushes it up. Shot clock is now off into the corner for the Thunderbirds. Sazu up on top, looking for options to help. Strand on top of the perimeter. Strand holding on to it. Thunderbirds will hold for one last shot. Garcia just about poked it away. 7 seconds left to go. Garcia again just about with a poke away. It'll be in the corner of Strand. Force it underneath. A fadeaway from Lawrence at the buzzer, and that will drop in there. Aliona Lawrence gets it a go. That'll make it a 3-point game. Both teams have played even in this third quarter. It's been a shootout here in the third. And the Tetons take a 58-55 lead into the break. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout for the start of the final frame here from Williston. Mike Ritter back here for Teton basketball. Tetons have the ball up 3 starting off in the fourth quarter. Garcia gets it underneath to Gray. Gray, turn around, puts it up and in. Patience Gray with her first bucket of the game. And the Tetons push the lead back out to 5, 60-55. So we'll see if the Tetons runs their offense through Gray out of the perimeter now, up on top to Marin. Gets it over to Lawrence, driving, dumps it off to Marin. Baseline jumper on the way, that's off the mark, no good. Put back up and good. And again, Lawrence, who hit the buzzer beater in the third quarter, gets 2 points. Back to a 3-point game. Berg looking to drive out on the perimeter to Garcia, picks up a Berg screen. Garcia back to Berg. Gray posting up, three-pointer for Berg, and that one is going to be up and good. 3 more for Jersey, and the Tetons back up by a 6-spot. Williston State looking to go on a run here to try and put some gap in between themselves and the Thunderbirds. Low post, it'll go underneath to Lawrence. Got away with a walk, got away with another walk, and again, a miss on that one, didn't hit anything. Murtaugh looking at the floor, is going to go on the baseline to Kunze. Slips underneath to Gray, and Gray's going to be fouled, and that will go on Sazu. Tetons looking to pick up the pace here in this one with the legs that they have out on the court, and Gray will go to the line for 2. Coming out of the game for United Tribes will be Alani Morin. And checking in for her will be Duran. First one on the way for Gray is going to be up and good. The 6'6 freshman knocks down her first. She'll have 1 more coming. Second of 2 is good as well for Gray, now with 4 points. Here come the Thunderbirds back up the court. Duran has it, gets it off to Dakota. Pass going to be stolen underneath, intended for Lawrence. Kunze running the court, gets it off to Garcia. Garcia's going to be hit and knock it down. Ali Garcia with the layup. She was fouled by Sazu, it looks like. We'll have to see the call. And it will be on Sazu. The Tetons all of a sudden back up by 10. And there's going to be a timeout called. Timeout called by United Tribes with 8:32 left to go. The Tetons now with a chance to extend the lead out back to 11. That timeout is extended out to a minute, so we'll take a break here as well from Williston.
Red Rock Ford is a proud supporter of Williston State College Teton Athletics and our community. At Red Rock, we encourage you to get behind our athletes, schools, and local community. Let's support our friends and neighbors as we work together to make our city a great place to live and raise our families. And when it comes time for your next vehicle purchase, see us at Red Rock Ford, where a portion of every dollar spent goes right back into the community you know and love. That's Red Rock Ford, your hometown Ford store, proudly supporting Teton Athletics.
We're back here, and it is Ali Garcia at the stripe for 1 shot. The Tetons now up 67-57, and Garcia will knock down the free throw. She has 11 points in the game. Tetons up by 11. Up the court come the Thunderbirds. Tetons now looking to see if they can't run away with this one, and there's going to be a stoppage on the court. Looks like there was a shot clock issue, so the Thunderbirds will be inbounding. Inbound now coming from Dakota. She'll get it up on top to Strand. Strand pass over to Dakota on the far wing. Looking for Sazu underneath. Tipped away by Gray. They're going to go foul on Gray. Coach Triplett just shaking his head on that one. As an inbound play coming for Williston State. Gray will pick up her first personal. Second team foul on the Tetons. Inbound pass goes to Lawrence up on top. Now to Strand. Looking down low. Back for Lawrence. Dump pass underneath. She's going to step off, get away with a shuffle of the feet. Tries to step through on Berg, and it's going to go off the front of the rim. No good. Pulled down by Kunze. And back comes Murtaugh and the Tetons. Tetons get it over to Kunze on the far wing. Looking underneath for Gray. Gray back to Kunze, running the lane. Up and in it goes. Allison Kunze now with 20 points in the game, as the Tetons now have their largest lead up to 13 points. Strand now, swing pass over to Sazu on the wing, pulls the trigger in front of Gray. That's not going to hit anything. It'll go out of bounds, back to the Tetons. The legs may be getting a little bit heavy here for this Tribe team with the up and down pace of this one. Duran checking out of the game. Kavanaugh coming back in for the Thunderbirds as Murtaugh works her way back up the court. 7:42 left to go on the American State Bank scoreboard. Garcia has the ball, looking for Gray down low, couldn't find her. Now Coonsey, high mid-post to Gray, drop step. Gray's going to put it up off the mark, no good. Rebound, and that one, they're going to call a push on Coonsey. And that's going to be 4 on Allison here with 7:30 left to go. So Coonsey and Bolito now with 4 each. So 2 Tetons in some big foul trouble here in this one. As the Thunderbirds seeing if they can't close the gap here in the 4th. Strand pounding the ball up on to the perimeter to Sazu. Looking around. She'll get it off to Dakota. Lawrence posting up on the high post. Nothing there. Over to Kavanaugh again. Swings it back to Sazu. Looking underneath. Lawrence is going to be double teamed. Swung it back out to Strand for 3. That's going to hit off the front of the rim. No good. Underneath it'll go to Sazu. Back out of the perimeter. Kavanaugh to Lawrence, looking for the bounce pass underneath. Gray with good defense. It'll be swung back out. 3-pointer from Dakota. That'll be up, no good. Pulled down by Gray, and she's going to up and no good from Sazu again. As it'll be a long push out. It'll go, touch pass, and Coonsey should have taken her herself. She tried for the extra pass underneath the Birds, and the recovery allowed the Thunderbirds to poke it out of bounds. It'll stay with Williston State. 6:47 left to go in the game. The Tetons still holding on to their 13-point advantage. Murtaugh set to trigger. Looking for someone to come open. Berg gets it in the mid-post area. Turnaround jumper. Jersey does it again from the mid-range area as she has now 17 points. Back up the court comes Strand. Long pass, it'll go over to Dakota. Sets up the offense for the Thunderbirds. Lawrence posting up against Berg. 3-pointer coming. That's going to be up, no good. Pulled down by Sazu as Murtaugh again races up the court. She finds Garcia on the wing. Filters through, swings it over to Berg. Berg wide open for 3. Got it to go for Berg. They're going to say it's a long 2 for Jersey. Had a foot on the line. Jersey now with 19 in the game. 74-57. Strand has it on the far wing. Picked up by Garcia. High screen from Lawrence. Strand swings it over. It's going to be lost out of bounds by Dakota. There'll be a turnover on the Thunderbirds with 5:59 left to go. Substitution coming out is Ali Garcia. Back into the game is Tia Conradson. So Berg will get it into Murtaugh. Murtaugh jogging it up the court for the Tetons. 2 Thunderbirds set to come in on the next stop. Conradson picks up the ball, gets the handoff from Murtaugh. Over to Bolito. Bolito will drive, gets a seam, and there's going to be a out of bounds. They're going to call Lucida having her foot on the line. Sazu checking out of the game. Ruiz coming back in. As well as Strand out. Up the court come the Thunderbirds to the top of the perimeter. They get it to Ruiz. Looking to work their way around. Moran posting up down low. Get it over to Dakota on the wing. Now back to Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh, high screen coming. She's looking to drive. She gets down. She's going to be fouled by Gray. So Gray will pick up another foul. It'll be her second. So the Tetons still battling here with the Thunderbirds. 74-57. Second personal on Gray. 13 foul on Williston State. They have 1 foul to give. 2 team fouls on the Thunderbirds. Free throw is going to be up and good by Madison Kavanaugh. Only 1 field goal so far in the quarter for the Thunderbirds. All their other points have come from the stripe. Second shot is going to be no good. It'll be pulled down by Berg, and back comes Murtaugh for the Tetons. Murtaugh hands the ball off to Bolito, who works away. Little shimmy and a shake. She's going to drive. She'll get a seam. Finger roll up, and it'll drop in there. Bolito drops it in for 2 points. And she now has 10 points in the game herself. Dakota calling for a screen from Lawrence. Bolito the good defense. Good defense again by Bolito. Forces to whip it over. Looking for underneath. It's going to be stolen away from Conradson. Gets it off to Murtaugh. Has Berg running the court. Murtaugh thought about for a second. Now to Bolito. Into the corner. Berg for 3 from the wing. No good. Can't be pulled down by Gray. Into the hands of Ruiz. And the Thunderbirds looking to Work it up the court. Long pass over to Dakota. Late closeout by Bolito. And that'll be a three-pointer from Dakota. And another timeout coming for the Thunderbirds. 76-61, 15-point advantage for Williston State. We have another timeout on the court. It's a full timeout here from the Well in Williston. We like to take this opportunity to say Western Cooperative Credit Union is your local credit union, which means they're a not-for-profit financial institution owned by you. WCCU has been serving Williston for many years and is proud of the difference they have made in the community. They're there for you when you need them, from home, ag, and auto loans to checking and savings account. So join the herd at WCCU.org. Mike Ritter back here for Teton basketball on the Williston State College YouTube page. Tetons have a 76-61 lead over United Tribe Technical College and the Thunderbirds. Fresh out of the timeout, Tetons looking to extend their lead back out. They threatened here recently to get it up to 20. Great pass from Bolito underneath to Gray, and there's going to be a foul on Sazu underneath. That'll be her fourth. So Gray will go back to the stripe. She's knocked down both of her free throws she's taken so far in the game. Patience Gray with 4 points so far, looking to extend that and the Teton lead. Gray at the line misses her first. She'll have one more coming. Excuse me, just the third on Sazu. Next one coming for Gray. That one will be up and good. Now she has 5 points so far. Inbound pass goes to Sazu. She'll work it up the court herself. 16-point lead. She'll be defended by Gray up on the point. Swings it over to Dakota. Dakota comes around a screen. Bolito in tow. Half step late. Swing pass into the corner to Ruiz. Three-pointer from the wing. Up and no good. Rebound going to come down. Two more in. And that'll be a foul on. That'll be a foul on Murtaugh. No, they'll call the foul on Berg. First personal on Jersey. The Tetons have no fouls left to give. 20 on the shot clock after the foul. 4:18 left to go in the game. Be a flip pass out to Marin. Has to save it from going out of bounds. Her foot may have been on the sideline. That'll be over underneath to Dakota. Up on top. Back to Ruiz. Entry pass underneath to Sazu. Back out. Ruiz again for three. That one off the mark. No good. Pulled down by Murtaugh. Takes a bump from Kavanaugh as Murtaugh runs the court. Tetons have been running the offense through Gray. Murtaugh now with a drive. She takes a big shot and finally gets a call. That'll send now Murtaugh to the stripe for a pair. See who the foul was on, and it is going to be now number... It'll be on Sazu, her fourth personal. She'll check out of the game with Lawrence coming back in. Coonsey checking back into the game for Williston State, as does Garcia. In for Conradson and Bolito, respectively. First one up by Murtaugh is going to be up and good. She has one more coming with 3:54 left in the game, 78-61. Next one from Murtaugh. 2 of 2 on the way. That one's in and out, no good. It'll be picked up by Dakota, who will push the point for the Thunderbirds. She'll slow things down, set up in the half court. Over onto the wing, Ruiz, who fires from range, off the mark, no good. Pulled down by Coonsey. She'll whip through and hand it off to Murtaugh, who again runs. Gray calling for it down underneath. We now fought off underneath to Coonsey. Coonsey for a three-pointer. That's going to be off the side of the rim, no good. Back come the Thunderbirds. 3.5 left to go on the American State Bank scoreboard. Sazu in transition, fires one up. That won't hit anything. And that's the third one that she hasn't hit anything on. And after the shot, she kind of just made a motion to herself. A little bit of frustration with her shooting there. Substitution coming out of the game is Kavanaugh. Checking back in is Strand. as Murtaugh will walk it up the court now, breaks out into a jog. Over on the wing to Kunze. Looking underneath for Gray, nothing there. Up on top to Murtaugh. Murtaugh drives back to Kunze, will take off, gets to the elbow. Looking for a guard to get it off to. Garcia up top. Gray fighting hard down low, had a seal, couldn't quite get it to her. Now Kunze takes a drive, she'll step through, and she's going to be fouled. It'll go off the side, and that's going to be it for Sazu. That'll be her fifth personal foul, so she'll be done for the day. She'll finish with 22 points. And now the Tetons will send some of their bench onto the court here with 2:56 left to go. Checking in for Patience Gray is going to be number 51, Emily Fixico, who believe that Fixico has to stop. She still had some jewelry on that she had to remove. So Fixico coming in for Gray. Kunze at the stripe for a pair. First one is going to be in for Allison. She'll have one more coming. The sophomore out of Malta. We have the stripe for her second of two. Next one on the way will be in and out, no good. Berg with an offensive rebound. Gets underneath to Kunze, and she's going to be whistled for the travel. She was being hugged by Ruiz as she shoveled her feet. But now Kunze will be subbed out of the game. Coming in for her will be Angie Kaloff. Kaloff, who injured herself last season in the final scrimmage of the year, tore her ACL, saw no action. Now get the post defense on Lawrence, forces a miss, no good. Offensive rebound to Desirales. Another offensive rebound for the Thunderbirds. Strand again looking to unload for Desirales, nothing there. Fixico with good post defense. Dakota drives, gets to the elbow, pulls up for the jumper, and it'll rattle in there. Aliana Lawrence now with 11 points in the game. Murtaugh will hand it off to Garcia on the wing. Kaloff holds on to the ball, gives it back over to Garcia, picks up a Kaloff screen. Garcia bounce pass, back to Kaloff. Cut off up on top to Fixico, back to Murtaugh. Murtaugh thought about a three-pointer. It'll be in between the legs of Kaloff. It's going to be a scramble on the ground for the ball. Loose ball, nothing called by either way. And now another loose ball. Kaloff's going to get it. She'll look to drive it on, and she'll be hammered as she goes up and gets it to go. Angie Kaloff with her first points of the game. As that'll push the lead up now, 81-63, with 1:53 left to go in the game. Kaloff will go to the stripe for one shot. Teton men's basketball team waiting in the wings. We'll have a substitution coming into the game. Checking out will be Taylor Murtaugh. JC DeMontney coming in, her first entrance into the game. Kaloff at the line, 4-1. On the way up, and that one will be good. Angie goes 1 for 1 to complete the three-point play. Now with 3 points in the game, under 2 minutes left to go on the American State Bank scoreboard. Strand works it up across the line. Long pass over to Dakota. Dakota walks into a three-pointer, and that one's going to be off the mark, no good. DeMontney pulls down the board. She'll work it up the court herself for Williston State. Closing in on a minute and a half. Fixico up on top of the perimeter. Swings it back to Garcia. Garcia picks up a Fixico screen. Now Kaloff on top. She'll step up from the charity stripe. Pulls the trigger. That'll roll off. DeMontney picks up the rebound. Puts it up and in. JC DeMontney with the offensive board and the layup. 84-63. Long pass over to Lawrence. Shimmy and a shake. Shuffling of the feet. She'll try to flip one up. Wild shot, no good. Pulled down by Jersey Berg. She'll be harassed by a couple of defenders, but she'll be able to run free. Looking for Garcia running the paint. Good job by Strand, keeping her step for step. Berg now with a fadeaway jumper off the front of the rim. No good. Got hit on the wrist as she went. Long pass out to Dakota. She'll reel it down, and she'll put it up. Rolls off the front of the rim. No good. It'll be out of bounds. Last touch by Garcia. With 53 seconds left to go, Jersey will take a seat on the bench, finishing with 19 points in the game. Coming in for her will be Tia Conradson. Thunderbird set to trigger from underneath her own basket. Get it up on the wing to Lawrence. Finds Strand. Looking down low. Lawrence now gets it down to the low post. Dakota for three. That's off the mark. Devontae pulls out the rebound, and she'll march it back up the court. Likely to be the last Teton possession of the game. She'll cross over, double high screen coming. She'll get it back on top to Fixico. Fixico, long two-pointer. That's going to be in there. Emily Fixico knocks it down. And the Tetons extend their lead out even more, up to 23 points. Strand now picks up a high screen. Thought about a three-pointer. Gives it off to Dakota along the wing, looking for DeZorales. Lawrence in the corner, back to Strand. Underneath, DeZorales has it. It'll be lost ball on the ground. The Tetons will take over, and here comes Connerton working her way up the court. She'll slow things down to the Tetons. Will dribble out the final 5 seconds of the game. The Tetons, after a sloppy first 2.5 periods, are able to get things together. They pull away to take the 23-point lead over United Tribes and the Thunderbirds, 86-63. We're going to head down to get the full stat sheet. When we come back, we'll wrap up this first of 2 games here from the Well in Williston. Game sponsor for this one is First International Bank and Trust. We'll be back in a few minutes. Mike Ritter back here from the Well in Williston, finishing up the women's post game, which saw them take away an 86-63 win. That was powered by a 28-8 fourth quarter. Let's take a look first at the stats for United Tribes. Ronessa Sazeg had 23 points in the game, including 5 3-pointers. Natalie Dakota had 20, going 4 for 10 from deep. 9 points in from Aliana Lawrence, 6 in from Selma Ruiz, 2 in from Casey Desirales, and 1 point in from Madison Kavanaugh. Shooting in the second half of the third quarter, Tribes went 7 of 16 for 43%, 3 of 6 from deep, and 6 of 6 from the stripe. In quarter number 4, just 3 of 20 from the field for 15%, 1 of 12 from deep for 8%, and 1 of 2 from the line for 50%. Overall in the game, the Thunderbirds shot 31%, 20 of 65, 32% from deep, going through 11 of 34, and 10 of 12 from the charity stripe for 83%. 32 total rebounds, led by Sazu had 10, 20 defensive, 12 offensive rebounds, 14 assists, 6 steals, 3 blocks, 14 turnovers in the game.